Hey everybody, I'm back in the kitchen again. Might as well call it Brenda's Kitchen. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what I did this morning. I went shopping, of course. As you can see, I did some shopping today. And most of this stuff is going to be for my preps. Some of it's from the Dollar Tree. The rest is Big Lots and Walmart. And I just want to review a few ideas that I have here as far as food. If you're a new prepper, and you're feeding a family, this is a 40-ounce can of beefaroni. This with either rice or over potatoes or on its own with a good side of vegetables would be a great meal if the power goes down and it's easy to reheat. And you have to check the cans, but some of these cans you can actually cook right in the can. I've done that many times on our off-grid property. So that's something to keep in mind. And as you can see, these were $2.50 a can, and I thought to feed 3 people, that's a reasonable price meal. This will go into what I call short-term preps, but the shelf life, the sell-by date is 2017. We're probably actually going to be good to almost 2020 on storing these cans. Again, it's about storing them in a cool, dark room, and it extends the shelf life of everything that you're storing, to include canned goods. Don't worry about the use by or sale by date. When this can goes bad, most of the time you're going to be able to tell that. If you open the can and the food smells bad, then you know it's bad. Do not throw food away just because that sell by date or use by date has passed. You might want to rotate it through sooner, but don't throw it away. And here's another one. It's a July 2017. So, and this is just a cream of mushroom soup. The reason I left these out to show you is this is a 14-ounce can, which is bigger than what you get with Campbell's cream of mushroom. And with a larger family, these will go further, and they were only $1 at the Dollar Tree. I bought 4 of them because I actually love making pasta with cream of mushroom on them. And if I have fresh mushrooms, I'll add that to them after I saute mushrooms and onions. That's one thing to cover, but that's canned goods that I did. One of the other canned goods are right here. This is a large 25-ounce corned beef hash. This is a little high in fat and salt, but it's a complete meal if you needed a complete meal. I may do an experiment and actually dehydrate one of these and see how it rehydrates, because this is absolutely one of my husband's favorite meals, and unfortunately for him it can only be a treat once in a while, but it will go into my short-term stores. Because this, if you have it fry it up, get it a little crispy, and toss a few eggs in there, oh my gosh, the best breakfast you'll ever have. Talking about breakfast, one of the items we stockpile, and this can go into short-term or long-term storage, is the old-fashioned oats. We will go through a lot of these. You can actually make flour from this. You can make them cookies. You can put them in bread. You can just make good old-fashioned oatmeal in the wintertime. Or you could actually, the other way of using old-fashioned oats is to soak them. We soak them in almond milk overnight with some raisins and cinnamon and even some nutmeg or even allspice. And you have a delicious, cold, super healthy breakfast in the morning. And that's several ways to use oats. So oats is definitely one of my big preps. And what I'm doing is topping off preps that I just don't have enough of. And to be honest with you, this will be a super go-to for us. It's also going to be high energy food. So that's a definite stockpile for our family. I highly recommend it, even if you're only going to think about making breads and cookies, have it on hand. It has a nice shelf life, and I believe if you're packaged right, I think you're going to get about 15 to 20 years storage out of those. Now, one of the other things that I felt we were lacking on, and I wanted to really add, is honey and maple syrup. Maple syrup with that oatmeal is to die for, people. Awesome. Honey is antibacterial, and it's also great for cough syrups If you're drinking hot drinks to sweeten a hot drink, you could use it as a sweetener in some of your breads and cookie recipes and cakes. So keep that in mind. So the honey also has an indefinite shelf life, so does maple syrup. These two items have no expiration dates. Those are items you can keep buying and stocking, and you don't have to rotate until you need them. One of the other things I'm always going to stress, seasonings. And unfortunately, where I'm at, I cannot buy Italian seasonings in bulk. This is the biggest container I can find, and it's only a 3.25 ounce. So I try and add one of these to my grocery cart every chance I get, so I'm building a stockpile. Okay, some of the other things, another breakfast item or dinner item would be your quick grits. Cooks in 5 minutes. Why is that important? Because if your power is out and you're cooking off of some type of fuel, whether it be wood, propane, that white gas for a camp stove, one of the little cans that they use to, oh God, I can't think of what they call them right now. But they're little cans of fuel that you can get at the dollar store for keeping a chafing dish warm. A sterno can. Thank you, Jim. My sidekick in the background's listening. But grits are great as a side dish or a breakfast dish. You can make it with salt and butter. You can add all kinds of preserves to make it a sweet dish. And it's a corn product, so it's not the best, healthiest thing, but this one's enriched, so it does have vitamins added. But it's still something to get you through hard times, and maybe add more to a meal so the meal goes further. If you only got one squirrel and you're feeding 3 people, this could make that meal a full belly meal rather than I'm going away from the table hungry meal. So keep this stuff in mind. Again, these can store, I believe, up to 10 years. So don't be afraid to store some. If you've never cooked grits, I highly recommend you learn to cook what you're storing. That's another issue. Many people are storing rice and beans and things like the old-fashioned oats and the quick grits, but they've never cooked them. If you don't know how to cook them, all this is useless because you will waste more food learning how to cook it than if you learn to cook it now. So be aware of that. I think it's a must. And once again, there's my fallbacks. I picked up some Bear Creek again. And these are 8 servings. I got creamy potato, navy bean, chicken noodle is a have to for those times when you're not feeling quite good. And here's a creamy chicken. There's that darn good chili. We love the chili. We actually love all their foods. I don't think we've ever had a Bear Creek packet of food that we did not enjoy. If you like some spice, they have a tortilla soup that has a nice kick to it. Even the chili has a little bit of a bite to it. And these are packaged in great packages, so we will put these back as long term. We actually keep some of these in several locations because it's an add water, cook meal. So it's simple. If you can get access to water, you have a meal. These would even be great to keep. Maybe divide the packets because this is an 8 serving. If you're in a vehicle and you want a get home bag or a bug out bag, you could cut these bags, servings, in half so that if you're on the road and you had to do a quick meal, you could do that. So there's many ways of utilizing these. You can repackage them if that's what you need to do. If you're a single person, then I would put 2 servings. I would measure this out and cut it into 4 servings total instead of 8. That way you have plenty of food in your tummy and you have multiple meals and nothing will go to waste if it's repackaged. One of the other things to talk about, and I don't see too many people talking about it, it's drinks. And we stock a few items for drinks, and I love these coffee bricks. I thought this is a great idea to store coffee, and here's why. it's already packaged with no air. And what does that mean? It means your shelf life is going to be super long on one of these bricks. This brick is ready to be put back. You don't have to repackage it. There's no air in it, so it's not going to go bad. I'm trying to see what and the packaging is very thick. I can't tell if it's a Mylar type bag or not. It's packed pretty good. Everything's sealed really hard. But the point is, it's vacuum sealed. Vacuum sealed drink mixes is heaven for a prepper. You just buy your vacuum sealed, and you can get these in smaller bricks. You can buy whatever brand brick you want. I picked up a great value because I wanted to talk to you about the benefits of buying coffee this way if you're putting coffee back. You don't need to buy a canister. This will take up a fraction of the room of a canister, and the canisters have air in them. These do not. These would pack, and there's really no weight to it, so you could almost bug out with a block of that and have coffee for about, well, it depends how many people, but maybe a couple months. So the other thing is, our old go-to is hot chocolate. On a cold winter day, in a bug-out scenario, off-grid scenario, any scenario, how about the blizzard we just had on the northeast coast? Hot chocolate, I just can't say enough about. I wish they would package hot chocolate in a brick form. That would be heaven. But they don't. So, but we got to put hot chocolate back. I also do Tang lemonade, like Country Time lemonade. Tang is an orange drink mix. Oh, my bird. And I also have a vitamin supplement that's like a fruit punch mix that we put back. So people tend to overlook drinks, and I think if you're planning on drinking water, that's great because that's the best thing you can drink, but at some point you're going to want something else, and that's where this all comes in. And tea bags. I can't tell you how many tea bags I have put back, and I'm going to continue to put tea back. That's going to be on next month's grocery list. And here's some packaged rice, and this is packaged to the point where, yes, you can put this back. It's already pre-seasoned, and you can buy this in just about every grocery store. You can buy little packs. You can buy, this is a family pack, but they make little packages of it for a smaller serving or a single person, and they're dirt cheap. So you can buy many of them, put them back. I've got 3 of these to put back. And the other thing is, I'm going to keep going back to my spices. Here's some pesto sauce mix. Simple to make. You now took a box of pasta and you've added lots of flavor. Trying to see what all it takes, but that's pesto. And I got a beans and peas seasoning. I have pigeon pea trees. One of the things I'm going to be doing this year is harvesting a ton of them. I'm going to do some for a seed exchange, and most of them will be either frozen or canned. I'm going to try and can them this year. But my point is, with the seasoning packet, those pigeon peas are going to be absolutely amazing. If you're storing pinto beans, black beans, great northern beans, with these seasoning packs, you now have a fabulous bean that even your children will eat. The other thing, they had these on sale. Walmart right now has the Wileys, and it's beans and peas, and this is the green seasoning packet, but it was 2 for $1. Normally these are $1.19 each. So as you can see, I bought a bunch because we eat greens at least once to twice a week. So this is an important seasoning for our household. And the other thing I got to top off my seasonings is some more brown gravy mix and a thick and zesty spaghetti sauce mix. This is something if you're growing fresh tomatoes, which I hope everybody can when the situation requires us. But with these seasoning packets, you will absolutely love your spaghetti sauce. And I'm so sorry, that bird is just going to drive me nuts. She always does this when I'm videoing. But again, think about how you can take your garden produce and make it into something delicious that everybody's going to enjoy. And that's why I stock this type of stuff. Okay? The other thing I picked up, instead of buying a container of oregano, which is very expensive, I picked up one of the bags from the Hispanic section of oregano. I will just refill my containers now with this. This was half the price of buying a bottle. So that was a nice savings to have. That was a Walmart. Now, Dollar Tree. Mustards. This is a 12-ounce bottle of mustard for $1. No, it's not a name brand. It tastes the same. It doesn't matter. The key is, it's about flavor. I got 4 of these, 2 of the big yellow. And again, each one of these was $1, and it's about adding flavor and variety to your pantry, because when the grid goes down, I don't know about you, but I actually love a brown mustard on potatoes. I will fry up some potatoes and put mustard on them. I don't need ketchup. But ketchup is another thing that would be a great stockpile item. Ketchup has a great shelf life. Most of this stuff has an amazing shelf life. This one says November 2016, but again, it's a best buy date. You'll probably get 2 more years out of this. And how do I know that? Is because when I was couponing, I'd have 20 of these on the shelf, and it took us 3 to 4 years to use them up. So I know that they last well beyond their best buy dates, and the flavor was not compromised. Then the other thing I'm getting for $1 is the Healthy Chef nonstick cooking pan spray. We don't use oils if we don't have to, and this is a quick fix for cooking eggs. I'm transitioning to the greeny fry pans, and I just realized they may be coming out with some pots and pans as well. So I'm going to be transitioning to that type of cooking, and with just a very light spray of this, those greenies are heaven. I love my greenies. Then the other thing, can't forget this. Vinegar. Keep buying your vinegar. Buy 1 jug every time you go to the store. Vinegar is crucial. Many uses for vinegar. Cleaning, disinfecting, even your laundry as a softener. I believe it can be used as a softener. We use it for cleaning our floors, and we use it for cooking and canning. So many uses for vinegar. We also do a vinegar dishwasher soap mix for spraying our countertops, and that works very good. One of the things I hadn't found because I didn't look right was a good deal on the shrimp flavored ramen noodles. This was a 12-pack for only $2. To me, that's an awesome deal. Do we eat a lot of this? No, we barely ever eat this, but I wanted variety in my preps because I actually love shrimp more than I do chicken or the beef. So I wanted some variety, and that's something to keep in mind. Yes, you can get chicken and beef in everything you buy, but at some point you're going to get tired of it. So add a little variety. If you like fish products, then add some canned fish and start practicing with those canned fish for recipes now. One of the other things I've done in the past week is dried green peppers. This is something I'm adding to my preps. I got a whole case of peppers and I chopped them up and I dehydrated them. This is not the way to store them. I have to take these and put them in a oxygen emptied bag. So I'm going to run this through a food saver and take all the oxygen out, and then these can be stored long term. And same thing, this is corn that I've dried. Tomatoes. Now these tomatoes could be made into tomato powder because they're, you hear that? Crunch, crunch. And they're actually good snacks. My granddaughter, I'll catch her snacking in the corn because it's sweet corn. And some more peppers. These were red peppers. And you see the color difference? Big difference. So these were the red sweet peppers. And these were the green bells. I also did an experiment recently and I dried bananas. And the can seems to be getting emptier, so I think somebody's snacking on them. Now these are not vacuum sealed, but when I dry more, I will be vacuum sealing them, but I don't want to really put them in canning jars. These are just our everyday use supply. I'll be doing them in vacuum sealed bags. And don't forget, order your Mylar bags because that's the best way to store your foods. If you can, use plastic buckets. If you can, I think the better choice is metal drums if you have a way of storing them. Don't put a metal drum on your carpet because it will leave a rust ring on your carpet. So I put cardboard down, then I have like a 20-gallon metal drum that I just fill to the brim, and I put a variety in the drum. And from that variety, I have a recipe card that goes in the drum that lists everything that's in that drum. So if I go looking for something, I can open the drum and say, oh, okay, here's what's in this drum. So that's something that I do, and I hope you enjoy the video. Once again, we're adding to our preps, and we're just making sure things are in place when we need them. Hope you all have a blessed day. And I'm going to go pluck a parrot right now. No, just kidding. Love that bird, but she has her moments. Alright guys, have a blessed day. We'll talk to you soon.